listening to.
What's up, everybody? You listen to Painkillers. I am Marquis.
No, and I'm AD.
Hey, we here to talk your pain away.
You know it. You know it.
What up, bro?
What's up, man? You
man,
good?
you always clean.
Man, dude. Nah,
I'm just gonna have to start I gotta get like a jewelry budget or something.
I just can't. I'm just flashy sometimes.
I can't be standing next to you, sitting next to you, and just be looking all plain. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, but no, like this shirt, dude, I had a very close friend.
Yeah.
We're not as close anymore. Breaks my heart.
I know.
But our motto was one day at a time.
Hey, shout out to my homie, man. One of my closest friends, man. This is his line, man.
Dude.
So, y'all shout that out, bro.
One day at a time,
man. That's all we can do.
That's all we can do. That's literally all we can do. We just take it one day at a time, man.
Dude, I be looking forward to seeing you, man.
Yeah, man. Dude. LA, man.
Bro, LA.
Listen.
It's a little chilly out here right now, though.
Listen, guys, I've been trying to get Marquis to move.
He's trying to get me to move here, man. And, it was working for a little bit, and then I'll be going back and forth, and then...
But then he bought a compound.
I bought a compound, bro.
Yeah.
I bought a compound.
No chance. No chance.
Hey, all things are possible, AD.
That's it.
I can have an LA house and we stay out here when I'm out here. And then, look, I just like getting his hopes up, y'all.
Man, I'm talking about I was just amped up.
Bruh, man. Okay, so Painkillers, man, dog. Like, bro, I mean, people are really, really, really talking about it, dog.
Dude. We have over 1,500 downloads.
That's crazy, bro. In less than 4 weeks, bro.
Yeah, less than 4 episodes. For less than 4 weeks, man.
Yeah, man.
1,500 downloads.
It's amazing, man. So to all the patients out there listening to us, man, we appreciate y'all, man.
Yes.
Thank y'all for spreading the word. Thank y'all for bringing more patients to the table, man.
Yes.
Like, hey, Painkillers, man, this is what it's all about, man. This is our passion, man. Me and AD, man, we've known each other for over 11 years, and our passion and our journeys, man, have been so similar, and to do this together, man, has really been just amazing, man, and I'm enjoying it, man. So talk to us today, AD. What we doing? What we talking about today? Let the patients know.
Today, one big word: vulnerability.
Crickets. Can you put like crickets right here, bro? Like exactly.
Listen, vulnerability, man. It's a huge thing, and I think we need to tackle it because in order to really move forward in relationships, friendships, business relationships, there's a level of vulnerability.
It is, man. And don't nobody want to be vulnerable.
Nobody.
All right, patients, keep it locked right here. You're listening to Painkillers. We're coming right back.
If there's some medication I could take to make me wanna hate you and kill this ache. If there's some medication I could take, no I wouldn't. But they don't got a pill for this.
Painkillers room, man, and we just gonna snatch this band-aid off. Rip. We gonna jump into it, and I'm glad we're gonna be talking about this today, AD.
Yeah.
Vulnerability,
man. Like it's huge.
It's huge, dude.
It's huge.
It's almost like the veins that allows the blood to run through the body.
Wow.
And without those veins, dude, like, blood would literally have no circulation. It have no ability.
Yeah.
And
the body dies.
The body dies, bro.
The body dies.
Come on, man. Yeah. That's so crazy. So let's dive into it, man. Let's talk about vulnerability. I pull up the definition for it, man. There's so many different definitions, but I want to start off with this, and we're just going to dive into it. But it says to be vulnerable is a great deal of respect, especially because of age, wisdom, and character. It deals with vulnerability as a noun, the ability to express, expose. It is a title given to a person or a person's character who has obtained a degree of openness and fully I don't even know that word, so I'm not even gonna try to say it.
If it's a word you don't know,
you know, bro, like
I'm looking at
you know how it be. But some of the other words that kind of go with vulnerable is respected, it's revered, it's worshipped, it's honored, it's esteemed, glorious, great, opened, noted, respectable, reputable, worthy. And that's some amazing words that connects to that word.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard to be vulnerable?
Man, I think it's so hard to be vulnerable mainly because it puts you at a place of almost it puts you at a very, it's letting your guard down.
For sure.
It's the all right, I'm gonna trust you to do whatever you want to do with the hopes that it helps me in the long run.
Yeah.
And I think it's impossible, man, to say I love you without a level of vulnerability. It's the concept of you sitting in a chair, or how I like to view it is you standing in a chair, right? You're standing in a chair, and let's say that chair stacked on a bunch of chairs
on top of each other,
and you're standing at the top of that, and then you put someone that you say you love, and they grab the legs of that chair. They have the capability to move it.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, but then you're trusting that they won't.
That's the glue.
And how does that make you feel? That if that's what vulnerability is, I'm up here.
Yep.
And at any given moment, you could pull this from up underneath me.
That's so good.
I think we don't like it because it puts us at a place of I could be hurt.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not secure on my own.
Yep.
And it allows someone else to control the narrative of what could hurt me.
Yeah. And I think, and I want to say this, and I know we're gonna get some bad ridicule, especially from the ladies, because you know we already getting people talking about we ain't had no females up in here and all that kind of stuff. We just starting, but I honestly believe, bro, and just let me kind of just talk out loud, that there is a different dynamic between a woman being vulnerable and a man being vulnerable. I believe that women are raised to be vulnerable, to be vocal, to express themselves, to be open, to be naked.
Yeah.
And men, we're not raised to be vulnerable. We're not raised to be vocal. We're not raised to literally just expose ourselves and let people in.
Yeah.
And then I think what ends up happening for us as men when we get older and now we're ready to get in a relationship or settle down, and this word of let me in, be vulnerable, share.
Yeah.
And it's like, for the last 20 years, 21 years, I was taught not to be that.
Yeah.
So how do I unlearn of masking, protecting, covering, and then be vulnerable? Like, how do I get naked and expose a layer of me that I didn't even know I had the capability or the reality to expose?
Yeah. I think it takes, for one, us being honest with the fact that we weren't raised like that.
Yeah.
Majority of us weren't. And I'm, you know, because I'm coming to a place where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say how everybody was raised.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But
everybody got different context.
Everybody got different context.
Yeah.
But majority of men, we just aren't raised to be that way.
For sure.
We aren't raised to communicate. We aren't raised to share emotions or feelings or whatever it may be. So I think it's like in one stage of adolescence, we have that life.
Yep.
Then it's like when you become an adult, there's another life that you're trying to learn.
Yeah.
And now we are expected to be men based upon age,
right,
but not based upon life maturity. And depending on where we are, it changes the dynamic.
It does.
And I don't think you can move towards the area of vulnerability
Mm-hmm.
without an honest assessment of where you are emotionally.
Correct.
Because it's like we're asking people to do something and we want them to do something. We want them to be something.
Yeah.
But do they know how to be it?
Right.
And everybody's level of vulnerability is different.
Correct.
Like, so depending on how they were raised, depending on how they were groomed, they have a different definition of vulnerability.
Yeah, for sure.
And we as men have an expectancy to know what their vulnerability is, especially in relationships.
Yeah.
So it's like, as soon as I jump into a relationship, she has a different level of vulnerability.
100.
Or a different definition of vulnerability.
100.
And then that relationship doesn't work and I start dating somebody else, they have a different level. They have a different definition of vulnerability.
Yep.
And that's one of my favorite songs is Music Soul Child, Teach Me How to Love.
Teach me.
And he's like saying like, he knows
Show
how to
me.
love
Yeah.
his way,
Right.
but I need to learn how to love you
Your way. Mm-hmm.
And I think we don't want to teach people, and majority of the time we don't want to teach people, not because we don't want to teach people. We can't teach them because we don't know.
We don't know.
We
And
don't
we don't
know.
have the patience.
Bingo.
We don't have the patience, man. And I love what you said about everyone has a different level of vulnerability. And I think that is a start, is that once we understand, hey, I want to be vulnerable. I want to learn how to be vulnerable. I really do.
Yeah.
But you gotta be careful how you approach me
Yeah.
and want me to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You can't just approach me incorrectly because that's going to put up more walls. It's going to make me not want to be vulnerable, not open up. And then when I do trust you with my vulnerability, how do you handle it?
Man.
How do you handle me taking off those layers?
Man.
And are you running your mouth? Are you exposing me? Are you having conversations about me? Are you like, because that right there, especially from a man perspective,
Yeah.
you know, every man wants to be respected. And every man
wants to be respected.
Every man wants to, like
Every man wants to be respected.
Yes, sir. If a man's respected, bro, I believe you can get every layer of vulnerability from them, man. When a man comes home and they feel like they are respected in their house, they're honored, and you know, it's easy for a man to love a woman that respects him.
Talk.
You get what I'm saying? And every woman wants to be loved. She wants to be
Women want to be
secure.
loved.
Yeah.
Men want to be respected.
We want to be respected, man. So this vulnerability is super deep because women are raised how to express and how to be vulnerable and how to be open, and majority men, we aren't. And the crazy part about it is that, bro, is that we're raised by women, right? Women raise us as our mothers, but I don't believe all the time that they raise us with the intention that we're going to be somebody's mate one day. And that dynamic. So I'm taught to withhold information, to man up, to not cry, to not express, to not be this, to not be that, to not share that.
You just said something.
And then 21 years old, I have a woman telling me to go deeper, to expose myself, to let her in, and to do all of that.
Something.
And then that same woman, when we have a child, teaches our child be a man.
Something.
You know, so vulnerability is big. And I know, you know, I ain't trying to get churchy because this ain't that show, but I think the mastery of vulnerability is shown in Genesis, dude, when God creates Adam in the most vulnerable space out of the most lowest form of material, which is dust or dirt, however you want to interpret it, right?
Yeah.
And he forms him in nakedness. Like that is the bare minimum of vulnerability. When you asking a person to be vulnerable, you're asking them to get naked. You ask them to show themselves in their purest form, right?
Yeah.
And he makes him in this area. And Adam has no problem being vulnerable until he realizes that he's being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then he tries to cover up that which was once not a problem, not an issue.
Yeah.
And I think we have a hard problem, bro. We have a hard problem.
I just put Boone on live.
No, look.
He was talking so good. I just wanted to. I want to TikTok.
You is a nut using, bro. I'm just because this is an amazing subject, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
at his purest form, he's vulnerable, right? He's naked. Like, he doesn't know that, and he doesn't know it's a problem.
Yeah.
He has an amazing relationship with God in his nakedness until he realized one day that he's naked. And the Bible says, bro, that he goes and hide, right? But I had a question because, like, why is he hiding? Sometimes we hide what has always been known. but we just didn't know.
Wow.
And we running high when we get the revelation of what everybody already knew.
Yeah.
And I believe sometimes we're not hiding because we're naked. We're hiding because now that we know we're naked, there's still going to be a level of responsibility that God desires for us to stand in. Like, imagine Adam knows he's now naked. He hides from God because he can't stand what God's going to require from him, and he knows he's naked.
Wow.
Like, hold on, I done messed up, bro, and God still wants me to go out here and talk to these people and everybody know what I just did.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real vulnerable moment to stand in front of thousands of people. Everybody know you're dirt, and God's like, yeah, I knew you're dirt when I made you, but go ahead and still get up there and talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, vulnerability at the purest form, man, is the ability to be comfortable in how you were created and not be afraid to share your nakedness.
Living in
your truth.
Like, you know, man, like, that's something that I think a lot of us have a very hard time doing.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't realize how much of a hard time I had living in my own truth.
Come on, be real, man. Be vulnerable.
To a place of, oh, like, that's an issue for me.
Yeah.
And I feel that once we begin to live in our own truth, that's where our power is. Because no one else.
Say that one more time.
Once we begin to live in our own truth, that's where our power is.
Patience, y'all need to write that down.
Once we begin to live in our own truth, that's where our power is. I think that we have to come to the realization of this is a part of my story. This is a part of my DNA. This is a part of who I was. Yeah. And I am earnestly working myself out of that. Yeah. And I think I've had some very heart-to-heart conversations, you know, as a recent. Yeah. Of even my own levels of dysfunction with my counselor, with my family, with those that I love, with, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is, but it allows you to sit in it, because that's just one of those things that if you're going to move in a new level of freedom, you have to unmask your own deficiencies first to say, this is an area of improvement or an area of growth for me. It does not mean that I'm so flawed that I cannot be loved. But if we don't come to our realization of our own truth, we'll live in so much shame that we'll feel that we're unlovable. That's where I have been.
That's the issue.
That's honestly where I have been.
And I think that's probably where people stop and say, I can't be vulnerable. Because as soon as I share with him or with her who I am or what I'm dealing with, they're going to reject me. They're going to walk away from me. They're not going to like me. They're going to see another level that they probably be like, I don't know if I want to take that on.
And you are so afraid to open up that because somebody before could not handle that.
Nailed it.
So what happened, just because someone did not have the grace to handle that,
or the capacity
to handle that, it does not mean that you aren't lovable. Right. That's not what it means. Right. It literally means somebody just could not, and that's okay. Yeah. If they can't. Yeah. But don't stop trying because someone did not have the capacity to handle who you were. Facts. And I think what stunts our growth in the area of vulnerability or in the level of receiving love is the fact that, boom, somebody denied me before. I've been rejected before. I've tried before. That didn't work. This didn't work. This didn't happen for me. And then all of a sudden we shut down this area of our lives to say, this can never be done again.
We put up these barriers because in our head, it is a mechanism to protect us from the outside world. And no one will ever be able to break into this cage where my vulnerability hides.
Man, I think I heard you say it years ago. This was years ago because we were talking about, because I'm going to actually be, I'm going to talk about my level of vulnerability, even in our brotherhood. Yeah. But
I was going to get there.
But we talked about that. There comes a time where you build a wall,
Facts.
saying, I'm not going to let anybody in, not
Yeah.
understanding that you're not letting yourself out. So now
you caged.
You're in there with yourself,
Yep.
with your own thoughts, with your
Your
own
feelings,
perceptions
your
of
own
yourself.
perception. Yep.
And you know all your dirt,
Yeah.
right? And because you know all your dirt,
Yeah.
you're automatically not going to give yourself any type of grace,
Facts.
any type of love beyond
Yeah.
what you feel.
Yep.
So then you are in your own head
Yeah.
about what you deserve.
Yeah.
And you could deserve so much more, but
Yep.
because you did not let that love in,
Yeah.
you didn't, you
You can't
deny
experience
it.
the totality of it. Like, we're in this cage, right? And we know our own dirt. The thing about dirt is dirt has ingredients and nutrients that can really produce the flowers, the vegetables, growth, right?
Yeah.
But the bad part about this is when you only have seed and dirt, you will never get the maximum potential. And the thing about us is that we can't be in the dirt, be the seed, and do the watering.
Mm-hmm.
The watering has to come from someone that you allow to come in.
Yeah.
And that watering, man, that is the part where you have to be so vulnerable and say, you know what? I know I'm in dirt,
Yeah.
but this person also knows I'm in dirt,
Yeah.
and they're still willing to water me, even though I haven't
Wow.
reached my maximum capacity.
Wow.
That's the potential. Potential is, you can't measure potential. You can't cut it. You can't grab it. It's invisible.
Wow.
Seeds have potential. You don't if you disrupt a seed to see what the potential is, that seed will never grow.
For sure.
So you can't open the seed. And most of the time when people are met, we're met in that with our shell, with our protection, all of that. And you have to have that group of people, man, that you can be open and honest with, that sees you in the dirt, but still willing to water you,
Yep.
still willing to cover you, still willing to trust, still willing to be there, still willing to come. It's like one plant, another water, but only God give that increase, bro.
Yep.
And we need those people in these seasons of vulnerability that are willing to see us in dirt, but still water us.
That's it. And I think because we cannot have a flourishing anything
Talk good.
without vulnerability.
Talk good.
It can be something,
Yeah.
but it won't flourish.
Yeah. Because check this out. Once that seed starts getting watering, that seed then has to come to a place where it's willing to get vulnerable, because then it has to start letting its shell down.
Yeah.
It start coming
Yeah.
out of that shell,
Yeah,
bro.
You start shedding.
You start shedding.
But it only starts shedding in the dirt.
Yep.
But the dirt is a trusted place.
It's a trusted place, dude.
So
Stay right there, though, AD. Stay right there.
So a lot of times people have you in their hand.
Yeah.
And then expecting for you to
grow.
or to break out of your
shell.
It's not a trusted
It's not
place.
a trusted place.
You have to prove yourself to be a trusted place.
Yeah.
And that comes from both parties
Yeah.
saying, yo, we can be vulnerable with one another.
Yeah.
I can trust you. You can
Yeah.
trust me. And that comes through time
Yeah.
and walking through life.
Yeah.
Now
This
we,
is so good.
Now we create brotherhoods
Yep.
and sisterhoods and
Connections
friendships and
Yep.
love
Mhm.
and
Yep.
marriage
Mhm.
overnight.
Yeah.
Because we're looking at everybody else
Yes,
on
sir.
Instagram and on
Trying
social
to keep
media.
up. Yeah.
Trying to keep up. They, they're lovable, so let me show that
Yep.
I'm lovable.
Yep.
I want a relationship, and I
Yep.
want this, and I want this. So, boom, we started talking,
Yep.
and then boom, a week later, I just feel like I
yeah,
love you.
exactly.
And then now you haven't proven that this is a trusted place.
Yeah. You
And
haven't
you're-
allowed that process of what do you call it? Germication or what is it?
Yeah, whatever.
You know what I'm talking
I
about.
know
Like,
what you're talking about.
y'all
I got
Google
you.
it. Like,
I got you. Whatever you're gonna say.
Okay, right.
I got you. But it's that. But the shell is broken in
Yeah.
a trusted place. Even though it may be dirt, it's still trusted, and it is what the shell needs to break out,
Yeah.
and then it begins to
Produce
formulate
roots.
and
Mhm.
produce roots.
yeah.
And it goes down before it
Goes
comes up.
Good night, y'all. This has been Painkillers.
So it's just one of those things that
It goes down before it goes up.
that in order for the relationship to grow,
Yeah.
matriculate, become, it has to be in such a trusted place to where it's like,
Yeah.
yo, I trust this.
Mm-hmm.
I trust this
Yep.
space.
Yeah.
And right now, I think that even in relationships and friendships,
Yeah.
we're asking people to be vulnerable
Yep.
with us, but we haven't proven ourselves to be a
Trustable.
trusted place.
Yeah.
And I've just come to this place, man. This is gonna be a good sound bite for us
Yep.
to do a clip from right here.
Facts.
Right here. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right.
Media.
Here we go. Right here. Y'all got it? Here we go. Here is a good place. We want people to be vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
without proving that we're a trusted place.
Mm-hmm.
But ask yourself, what did you do with the last promise that you made to this person? Majority of times, our emotions trump our promise.
All the time.
So what happens, your promise is only as strong as your emotions
Yeah.
allow it to be.
Exactly.
So if you get mad enough, that promise goes
out the window.
So what you've told me is, what you show me,
You're not trustable.
you're not a trusted
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Your emotions control
Your emotions
you,
control
not your
you,
words.
Not your words. That's the reason why people say,
Dangerous.
I'm tired of hearing you talk about it.
Yep. No action.
Show me.
No follow up. No.
Show me.
Yeah. Facts.
Show me.
Bro, you hitting them. You hitting
Show
them.
me.
You hitting them. You hitting them.
What is it, Missouri? It's a show me
It's a
state.
show me state, man.
Show me.
Yes.
I don't want to hear about it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear. Oh, I got your back.
Yeah.
No, I want to see that.
That is proven.
I want proven.
Yeah.
Show me that this can be
Yeah.
trusted.
Yeah.
That and the thing is, what you're showing me is your emotions can be trusted. So what you're saying, however your emotions go that day,
Yep.
I'm susceptible to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can maneuver, do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
And I just got to be okay with your emotions. No.
And it shouldn't be that way.
No.
It can't be that way.
No.
Because if the tables were turned, then you would have a problem with it.
Man.
And I
Big
think
problem.
that's okay.
Big problem.
You didn't say so much, man, and there's so much to unpack in such short amount of time.
Big problem.
But your emotions cannot be the driving force behind the friendship, the relationship, the connection. Like, your word got to be your bond.
Bro.
Your word got to be your bond. And that's like, even with us, right? We know things about each other.
For sure.
And even in seasons when we weren't eye to eye, that vulnerability, that trust was never broken. Some
Bingo.
people will take what they know and trump. And those are the seasons where the roots are really being freaking grounded, man.
Bro.
It's showing the strength there.
Bro, check this out. We have a misconception of loyalty
Absolutely. Yeah.
because
I'm only loyal as long as you're around.
bingo. Bingo. Because real loyalty
Come on.
says, I'm still loyal to you. Now, even though we may separate, even though
Yep.
we may not talk, even
Yep.
though we may not see eye to eye, and even in our situation, it
Yep.
wasn't bad. It
Yeah.
was just like, yo, we just didn't communicate how
Exactly.
we used to. But then if we stop communicating, my loyalty
Yeah.
is still with the word
Yeah.
and the promise that I
That was
gave.
rooted there. Yeah.
That was rooted there
Yep.
to say, you know what, I ain't switching up.
For sure.
And we
Because
think-
you never know when those seasons may return. And you don't want to live in the regret of, dang, I can't even look this person in the face because I know what I done said about them. Or what I done did behind their back.
You see what
Or
I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
What I now gotta live
Yeah.
and what I now
Yeah.
gotta constantly regurgitate
Mm-hmm.
or have conversation about.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
No. We just got a misconception.
We
of
got
it.
a misconception.
But that comes with the vulnerability.
Absolutely.
piece. And I just think that if we're going to establish real friendship, real brotherhood,
Yeah.
real relationship,
Yeah.
it has to be strong vulnerability.
It gotta be.
It just
Yeah.
has to be. It has to be a process that we walk out, walk
Yeah.
through, continue to do,
Yeah.
and challenge ourselves with opening up,
Yeah.
with the level of vulnerability, man. In our situation, I say this before we get off,
Yeah.
but man, in our situation, it was where I found that when we have to manage
Mm-hmm.
the emotions of the aftershock of vulnerability.
100%.
This is, and I want
Yeah.
people to understand that,
Yeah.
because after you're vulnerable,
Yeah.
your emotions will tell you to recluse.
Yep.
Because you've opened up,
Yeah.
and now you don't know how, and then you get in your own head about,
Yeah.
well, man, it after you open up,
Yeah.
you send a text, and then it take them an hour to text back.
Yep.
You'll be thinking in your head,
Yes, sir.
man,
That's me all day long.
you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
man,
Yep.
man, and really what that is, that's a trigger.
Yeah.
Because I found that in most connections that I've had in my life, if I ever want to see if they deal with the spirit of rejection,
Yeah.
text messages will show it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It'll show it every time.
Every time.
Like if you text, he said that's me. If you text and then there is like this space, or
Yeah.
they could be doing anything.
Yeah.
And then
I get pissed. Hey, this pain, because I'm gonna tell the truth.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
get pissed. Like, I got the spirit of rejection. That's my root, guys.
I love it, bro. I love it. I mean, and you know, I just
My
got
mind went everywhere.
And listen,
they sitting over there looking at it, reading it, don't even want to respond.
They don't want to talk to that. And then where we see rejection show up the most
Yeah.
is that we don't wait for the response. We'll text them back. Never mind, I got it.
Yep. Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it.
Or then they text you back and then you try to play that same game with them.
Yep.
Oh, I ain't responding back to them.
It took them 30 minutes. I'm gonna take 45.
I'm gonna take an hour.
You see what I'm saying? But it's that, and what I realized with that is where you're saying, yo, you know, you deal with
Yeah.
the spirit of rejection. I deal with just spirit of shutting down
Facts.
and running.
Yeah.
So when things, I'm just like, yo,
Yep.
I ain't got to talk.
Yeah.
And if I stick around to keep arguing with somebody,
Yep.
that's showing like, yo, at least I'm trying to give you opportunity.
Facts, because that means I'm invested in it.
Yeah, I'm trying to give you opportunity.
Yep.
And after a while, I could just be like
Ghost.
ghost.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. And we both experienced that. And I'll say this, like, you know, even in our situation, right?
mm-hmm.
Like, I was hurt, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was mad. But like you said, when you know how to govern your emotion,
Yes, sir.
like, you can feel it,
Yes,
you can
sir.
embrace it, but you don't always have to react to it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes our feelings lie to us.
Man, all the time. All the time. I tell people this, our feelings are true
Mm-hmm.
because we feel them,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not facts.
Yeah.
Facts can be proven over and over and over
Bingo.
again.
Yeah.
Time.
Yep.
So 2
Yep.
plus 2 always gonna equal 4.
Always,
That's a
no
fact.
matter how you lay it out. Yeah.
How I feel right now in this
Yep.
moment, I'm gonna feel different
In the next 15
in
minutes,
the next
probably.
15
Yeah.
minutes. Something could happen. I'm
The
gonna be
right song
excited.
can come on. You can anything.
Anything.
Yep.
And so that's why I think it's so important that we teach emotional
Stability and health.
And
like,
health.
yeah.
and emotional intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
We need to know what we feel and why we're feeling this.
Yeah.
And like,
What's the triggers?
what's the
what got me
triggers?
here? How do I find constructive ways to deal with my
Bro.
emotional state?
bro? I'm telling you, I was doing this interview the other day, and they asked me. They said, you know, AD, you know, you're single.
Yep.
Da. You know, what's the most attractive thing to
Mhm.
you in a woman?
Yeah,
I said right now, emotional intelligence.
absolutely.
I said because
I got a whole post on that on Instagram. Y'all can go search for
Oh,
it.
for real?
Yeah, I did a whole series on
Bruh,
emotional intelligence.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man, because it's something about it that when a woman can communicate
Mm-hmm.
because now what I'm seeing is that because women are emotional, we're emotional.
Bro,
Men-
you gonna get us in trouble, man.
I know, but
You ain't had no women on there to give our opinion, and
women, we're gonna have you on at some point, I promise you. But you know, men, we're emotional.
Yeah, we are.
just we
express it differently.
We express it
Yeah.
differently.
Yep.
And what I'm realizing is that some women, not all, but some women that act out when they want attention.
For sure.
Right?
For
So
sure.
it's like I'm gonna do this because
Yeah.
I really want your attention.
Yep.
That emotional intelligence will be able to say, hey, I need some attention from you.
Yep.
And I need you to talk to me.
Articulate it.
Articulate that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
but an emotional intelligence for men
Yeah.
is the way of, hey, I felt this way, I
Mhm.
felt this way, I felt this
Mhm.
way. But we just have a hard time communicating.
Yeah. Like,
period.
instead of walking off, I have to say, hey, I really want to walk off right now, but I'm willing to communicate and talk. But this is what I'm feeling. Like, that is emotional intelligence. I remember I was in this relationship, and this woman, she literally just like to, go off.
Mm.
And I'll never forget one night, something just told me, just hug her. I mean, she was going off, and it just says, hug her. I hugged her, and she just broke down crying.
Wow.
Like, everything in me wanted to walk out,
Yeah.
but literally something just said, just hug her. I hugged
Yeah.
her. She broke down.
Wow.
And sometimes, like you said, people are emotionally reacting
Yep.
It could be for a plethora of different reasons, whatever.
Yep.
But for that particular person, I felt like she was responding to me based on her experience with her father. So she's like, oh, you just going to walk out on me. You're going to do this. You're going to do this like my dad and my daddy did. I was like, let me just hug her. And that broke her. And sometimes the person is not reacting to us. They're reacting to something else that reminds them. You get what I'm saying? So even sometimes, like, what is it about him that reminds you of your dad that you keep on reacting to?
Wow.
Or what is it about her that reminds you of your mom or your last girlfriend
Yeah.
that you keep on reacting to?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's not us as the individual.
Nope.
It's the history
Yep.
or the repetitiveness or the things that resemble something.
Yep.
Like for me, I can have a certain smell, right? If I smell something that reminds me of something from the past, like, bro, I go emotionally to that place.
Yep.
Or if I hear a song,
I was about to say,
bro,
that's what I was about. Listen, it's some songs I just skip over.
I just can't listen to.
I can't listen to this right
it
now.
takes me back.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
And but then I had to, about that point, this is why, and someone just said this, that's why counseling is so important.
It is.
And it is. It definitely is. And I think that we have to understand the work that we have to do for our own emotional intelligence.
For sure.
And I kind of came to a place where it was like this. It was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
For me.
Yep.
To better myself, to become what I need to become for the sake of me before I could be anything to anybody else. And then I looked at it when in past situations, dating, whatever the case is, I remember, when you're talking about you hugging, you hugging her, I remember I did something that got me cussed out, but on the tail end, it was great.
Yeah.
Because whenever they were acting out, I was like, who am I talking to right now?
That's good.
Because I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm talking to a version of you.
Yeah.
But what version of you am I talking to?
Not who I'm aware of. Yeah.
And I was talking to a 12-year-old version of this individual. And because they kept going back to that.
Yeah.
And even though you may have done something that is a trigger, you weren't the one that started it. You hit a trigger that makes them think about it.
Yep.
But you didn't start that.
And that's what I always say, dude. Don't make me pay a bill that I did not run up.
Yep.
Like, I could not move into a house and they tell me I got to pay electric bill from the last 6 months. I'm like, I just moved in here.
Yep.
And sometimes people make us pay bills that we did not create.
Bro, you're talking good.
Whew. Patience. Vulnerability, man. This is a tough one, man. Like,
we got to do a part 2 of
we
this
got to
one,
do a part 2, man. We got to do a part 2, man. But
yeah.
I want to encourage the patience, man. Before we give out prescriptions today, man, I want you to get involved in the comments area, man, with the stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah.
We want to hear your opinion. We want to hear your rebuttal. And some of you guys may not agree with us. We want to see that. Like, this is not that podcast where you got to agree with everything we talk about. This is the painkillers room. Put your perspective on it. Put your opinion on it. If you agree with us, say that. If you don't agree with us, say that too.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't looking for all positive feedback, man. We want feedback, period. You know? Because the thing about pain is that everyone experiences it from a different level. Like,
bro,
I mean, AD is pretty tall, pretty buff. Like, he can probably stand more pain than me in certain areas, like,
I don't know.
And just because
I don't know, brother.
He may only have to take one Tylenol. I might have to take like 3 of them jokers, man. Like,
I don't know. Listen.
But we want to hear y'all, man. Get in the comments area, man. And tell us what you think about this subject about vulnerability.
Yeah.
What has been your hardest part about being vulnerable, whether that's in relationships and friendship and business, or just within yourself, within your family? Talk to us about what you disagree with, what we're talking about right now, because we're being vulnerable. We're telling you where we are, our experience, and what happened to us. And everybody's experience is different, man. Patience. All right. So we're getting ready to give y'all our prescriptions for today.
The prescriptions for today.
Dr. AD, what you got for the patients today?
I'll say this. I'll say that the prescription for today, and I had some notes. So I'm going back to
I need
my
to start
notes.
writing notes.
Man, dude, because I be having certain thoughts, man, and then it escaped me.
For
You know,
sure.
I
For sure.
ain't as young as I used to be.
We ain't all another. Y'all know AD really only 25, y'all.
Dude, my motto is, you know, like a dull pencil beats a sharp mind any day.
Hey, facts.
Right?
Facts.
So I gotta write it down.
Yep.
But my prescription for today is, you may not like vulnerability, but it's needed in every relationship.
Yeah.
But make sure that you are first vulnerable with yourself,
For sure.
to know where you are and be honest about where you are, living your truth, and then share your truth with trusted places.
That's good,
That's
man.
my prescription for today.
Hey, y'all heard AD's prescription now. You got to go and get it filled.
Go get that feeling.
My prescription for the day, man, AD said something that really hit home, and I literally was over here like, I'm going to write that prescription.
Yeah.
Embrace your dirt. Don't be afraid
man.
to allow your dirt to keep you in a shell.
Yeah.
And then only be vulnerable with those who have proven to you that they are a trustworthy place. All of us need dirt in order to grow. You cannot become the best version of you if you never experience that dark place.
Yeah.
The dirt is not meant to be the place that you stay forever, but it's the incubator that helps you grow. It nurtures you. It produces roots in you. If I ain't go through some of the dirt that I went through, man, whether it's known or unknown, I probably wouldn't be sitting at this painkillers table today.
Yep.
But my roots came from my dirt,
Yep.
and I've grown through some dark places in my life.
Yes, sir.
That's my prescription to the patients today,
That's
man.
your prescription.
Go get it
So
filled,
fill it.
bruh.
Go get that prescription filled, man.
Hey, man, we love y'all. This has been Painkillers with Marquis.
And AD.
And y'all know what we do. We talk your pain away.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next time.
If there's some medication,
Don't forget, you can join us every Monday night on Medication Mondays on Clubhouse at 9 p.m. It's an extended conversation from the Painkillers podcast. Clubhouse, Monday nights at 9 p.m. Medication Mondays.